Under the Radar is a web radio that unites three people that use their spoken words powerfully. Alex, Céline and Marco are here to see and speak, to see what is being played instantly, honestly, without any complacency for themselves or for the other, to see precisely and to speak freely, to reveal their own power. The first recordings will give you the tonality of the exchanges, right here.
Bonsoir Céline.
Hi Céline. Hi Alex.
T'en es où aujourd'hui?
Where are you today?
J'en suis.
I am.
À l'observation.
Céline is saying, I'm at the observation of the phenomenon of freeing oneself very regularly in our lives, of many, many things, is to free ourselves, emancipate, liberate, extract of a situation, a relationship. That's what I'm observing right now, very strongly. I'm seeing a lot of this with people around us, and I'm saying, wow, it's quite this chaos, this being captivated, of retention, of it puts the human being in situations that are very difficult, because it's like there needed to be situations that are so aberring that there can be like this chaos in our mental, so that we can see how we're being possessed of certain people, of certain situations. And that's what I'm observing regularly, and certainly a lot right now, because it's very present in our environment around us, of people that feel perplexed, like in a state of shock, to see in front of their eyes things or hear words that are completely shocking. That's what is going through me right now. And effectively, it brought me to my very long period of being possessed in my own world, in my own life. And I'm seeing it now. It's being played on so many different forms and programs, but in the same way, it's to free oneself. And it's this difficulty to free oneself that it's linked to the emotional sphere, because there's affection in the situations where we are dominated, or there's a story, a family story sometimes, that we say in another way. So it's to observe what's being happening on the side of me, and what I also lived in my singularity, we can say it that way, in what I lived in my life. And sometimes to see human beings that are in difficulty and have a hard time to extract themselves, and that difficulty to extract themselves is so unjust, so disgusting, because what does it pass? It passes by feeling like that you're to blame, or that it is served in many different sauces, or manipulation, of course. That's where I am right now. And you, Alex? Is there something that comes?
Dans ton témoignage,
when you're saying in your testimony, there's a demonstration that you lived it, the fact of freeing yourself, of coming out of that state of possession, domination. And that's what we're seeing today. And it's showing us there's no creativity in these programs in astral worlds and the programs that are full of memories in the sense that you lived it, others will live it in front of us, in front of our eyes. The process is the same thing. The skeleton is the same. So that is illustrating an intention that I have is to write a text in that subject. And I've been thinking about it for a few weeks now. I come back to it, I reformulate, I write it. It's not information that's coming down instantaneously without any preparation, but there's a will of writing it black on white, that there's zero creativity in the programs that are imposed on us. And it also shows me at what point we have the capacity of coming out of a habit of speaking regularly. You see, meaning that time of observation that is mine today, that I said that was like a slowdown these last few days, where I don't really want to speak regularly, so I don't take it, because it's not to say or do to do. It's just when it's meaningful, when it's meaningful for ourselves first. And that showed me. But also I see that the words can take different forms, around and also in places that we ourselves have gone to. There's things that happen, things that come back to us, there's new forms that are created, there's, how can we say it, like adjustments, there's things that are happening, but we don't need to take part in it. That's what I'm seeing. What comes to me, Céline is saying, is that to talk about or talk in public, let a place to this observation that is played around us and that is around us very closely. For me it's this, for you it's that, your children and my children, so it's very close actually. And effectively to speak, no, but that we do private sessions. Well, today it's consecrated for a certain time to our children, and it's not a luxury, because to see that principle of being dominated under our eyes, when you or I, we've lived it in different ways, and very strongly, we see that it's being played with our children. And for me, what really makes me see is the scenario of being dominated by a man or a woman, it doesn't matter, that is extremely
injurieux presque, dans le sens que c'est réduire l'autre.
It's like to reduce the other to nothing.
Tu ne peux rien sans moi.
You're nothing without me. So it's scenarios that many know, but there we are touching something in the order, it's like spectacular how enormous it is and how far it can go, like an audacity in the negative sense of the word, to have that audacity, like a risk of that person that can dominate. It still scotches us today, like and how we can see how far it can go, and effectively you say, yeah, wow, it's quite enormous. When they put the packet, they really put package those dogs that are behind all of this. So that's what I'm seeing. And I see the difficulty in front also. And there we are in reinforcement. We do what we do, but in another way, or by individual sessions. Alex is saying something is coming to me, something that we pointed a few days ago, where you said that these dogs that are behind all of this, are so heavy. You pointed all of this, that it was so visible, that it was so big that you couldn't loop it, and that you observed modifications on you. I'd like to hear you on this, because to say this declaration on this, and how do I say it? To express it in this way. It's like to be provoked. Well, you're seeing it. Can you speak about it in your own experience? Well, Céline is saying, well, yeah, like by speaking publicly, well, what is being played around us, like we were talking about, I didn't have this. Nothing came, so I'm like, okay, well, nothing came, well, it's okay. And I was saying, well, I was observing this. Well, nothing comes. Okay, is it something that's stopping me to speak? Is it... I didn't see anything at all, actually. Because effectively, it's so big, I can hear them coming when they do come. So what I perceived, what came, is that it came just like that, is, yeah, we're in finesse now. And, oh, these dogs.
Donc, j'en ai pas pris ombrage, j'ai fait
okay.
J'ai pris note, comme on dit.
I took note of this, like we say. But
voilà,
there,
j'en fais mon affaire.
I'm doing what I need to do.
J'en fais mon affaire. Ce qu'ils pensent
what they think
un écrasement de ma parole,
to be like a crushing of my speech momentarily. Of course, it's a moment. It's a moment, but it isn't that for me. Because I don't need to be to speak on a microphone to be in vibration, or to live, or to expand. No, I live it every day. And what we're doing in a session, I also do it privately. So I'm not, how do I say it, on the ground at all. But I played with the idea of captivating this little information. They were trying to do this like in a finesse way, and how they couldn't stop themselves from saying it. That's what's funny, is that that's where the heaviness is. When I provoke, I can say it's heavy, but it's at their scale. But there, by being in this finesse, they couldn't stop themselves from being stupid by sliding it in as a parasital thought. And I said, wow, you were quite big, actually. Wow. So I'm doing what I need to do, very simply. And effectively, when we take our speech, not to speak, just to speak, but when we take our words like an arm, like to protect ourselves, like a great, like saying, I exist and you will not crush me, whoever you are. Well, it can be a microphone. It's the same thing. It can be done. It can be done regularly at each instant. And that is not, we're not going back. It's not possible. We can't go back. So that's where I am today. Alex is saying, shows me at what point it can be expressed. How do I say this? High and strong. It can be communicated. It can be transmitted to others. It can also be mental. It's very, very mental. Meaning that this period of being slow, I apprehend this, is that your words, your speech, it can be expressed without necessarily putting the words like or hearing them. It's not a scoop what I said here. It's just that it's measurable. But there was like a phase of going slower lately, and it's okay for me. And it's even I see a capacity that we have all to say yes or no. I'll speak now. No, I won't. Or here I will. And it's at the service of. Do you know what I mean? Service of whoever it is, or who, or for what. It's good that the last word is the avatar that expresses or decides doesn't to express. Point. There's no inspiration that would push. I say yes or no. If I say no, I say no. That's all. Céline adds is that it's on that mode right now, and then that mood, and it's okay. That's all.
Merci à toi,
Thank you,
Céline.
Céline. Thank you, Alex.